Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Greetings, my respects to all senior venerables, my respects to Ayatollah, who is not here with us at this moment, but is here in spirit, on the ground, sending us blessings. Welcome to all of you, and happy Vesak. So, Vesak, I think you probably know, is the day when we celebrate the three great events in the life of the Buddha: his birth, his awakening, and also his passing away into Parinibbāna. And so we're here to celebrate that today, recollect that, worth these three worthy events, worthy of recollection again and again. We know, however, that the Buddha was not just a lone warrior striving in the wilderness. He was at all of these stages embedded with other people. You know, at his birth, we think of his mothers, certainly. His mother Maya, who gave birth to him, and then his second mother, Mahapajapati, who raised him after his mother Maya passed away. So remembering them with honor and appreciation on the occasion of the Bodhisattva's birth. And knowing that he was not the only one born that day. So you see, we've brought in these relics, these sacred relics just now. These are the sacred relics of Yashodhara Teri, or Bhattakachana Teri, so a great Arahant disciple of the Buddha. And but before her awakening and her lay life, she had been the Buddha's wife, or the Bodhisattva's wife. And it's said that she was born the same day he was, that they had been partners throughout many, many eons, and that they were born together. And so it's her birthday also. So we thought we'd bring out her sacred relics to celebrate her birthday together. So our veneration to Yashodhara Teri, and our gratitude to be able to be together with her sacred relics today. There were actually 7 conatals, 7 born on this at the same time of the Buddha. They tell in some of the stories. So Yashodhara Teri was one of them. The Bodhi tree that the Buddha awakened under, they say, also was born the same day that he was. I'm not sure what born means in this case. The first sprout came off, or
sure.
But it's the Bodhi tree's birthday also. So a little later, we're going to circumambulate and give some veneration to the Bodhi tree as well. And do we remember all 7?
Maybe.
I think also they say Venerable Ananda was born the same day, at least in some of the stories. There's some discrepancies in different texts about this. And
Kantaka, the horse?
The horse, Kantaka the horse, who brought the Bodhisattva out from the palace when he went forth. And his childhood friend and minister of the Shakya kingdom, Kaludai, they say was also one of the conatals. How many is that?
And the groom.
Oh, Chana. Yes, Chana, who came also with the horse. When the Bodhisattva left the palace, he had 2 companions, who were Chana the groom and Kantaka the horse. And it said that both the horse and the groom were born the same day as him as well.
And then there was like 4 pots of treasure. I don't know what that means exactly.
Right. So anyway, there's various stories, many stories, but we thought at least we have the sacred relics here, and we have the Bodhi tree, and we can celebrate their births as well, knowing that the Buddha had this group going through with him. And, you know, even at the time of the awakening, please come. Welcome, Yote. More flowers for our altar. So, yes, even at the time of the awakening, we think maybe the Buddha was alone, but no, he was with the tree who had been born with him together. And at the time of his passing away, of course, he was with many of his disciples, with Venerable Ananda is especially prominent among them at that time. So remembering Buddha and all of those awakening with him on this special day. And let's see, what else was I supposed to say here? Okay, covered. So welcome to all for our Vesak Day celebrations.
And welcome to anyone who may be joining us online as well.
Do you have your mic on?
I do.
Yes, welcome to those online also. I'm Bhikkhunika Chayana, and you don't see here today Venerable Ayatotthaloka Terry, our founding abbess. She is here on the grounds with us, but due to her health, not joining today. But sending her blessings, and we can also, I think, dedicate some of the merits of today's activities towards her and her well-being. We also have here Venerable Tavira and Anagarika Aryamanda, and somewhere is Anagarika Aryamanda.
One more Anagarika who hopefully will appear.
And we want to have special greetings to Nuchida, is our representative of the board of directors here. And in fact, many of you here are old friends I could introduce, but we'll welcome to all. Welcome everyone. Actually, Nuchida, would you like to say just a brief hello on behalf of the board? And then there'll be another opportunity later to talk about some projects.
But we may have people online, so you do need the mic.
Short, welcome everyone for the Vesak. And sometimes I wondering about this event of things around the world, like Vesak in springtime at the same time the other events that happening during springtime. So there is a lot of meaning around this event. Spring is the growth, renewal, and coming out to a new life. So I think there might be a meaning of this Vesak as well. Yeah, welcome, and I will give more talk later.
Thank you very much, Nuchida. Nuchida is on our board of directors as the director of development, and very glad she could join us today on behalf of the board. So for our celebration of Vesak today, we're going to have a little bit of time for bhavana. We've already had today some opportunity for dana, giving the food. Each person had the chance to put a spoonful of rice in the bowl or to participate in offering the food to the Buddha, dedicating the Buddha Puja. And also had opportunity earlier to undertake sila, the precepts. And so these are two of the important elements that we do anytime we come to the temple that are of great merit for all of us. And then the third one is bhavana, which includes meditation, it includes Dhamma talks, it includes recollecting the words of the Buddha. So this afternoon, we'll be doing some of that. We'll do a little bit of meditation, we'll have a Dhamma talk, and then we'll have some chanting, recollecting the Buddha and honoring the Buddha, Visakha Puja. And we'll have a chance to circumambulate the altar and the tree. We'll have a chance to bathe the baby Buddha all together. But starting first with a few minutes of meditation. And I'd like to, invite you to come into a meditation posture. This will be a brief meditation, but it's just finding a way to sit that's comfortable, balanced, upright. And for this meditation, I'd like to invite you, consider the qualities of the Buddha, the one we're here to honor today, with our gratitude for his birth, his awakening, and our honor for his passing away. When we came in and started chanting, at the very end, everyone came in, Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Many of you knew those words. Many of you joined in and chanted along. Namo means I honor, homage. Bhagavato means the Blessed One. Arahato, the worthy one, the noble one. Samma Sambuddhassa, the fully, rightly awakened one. And just this can be our meditation. Practice of Buddhanusati, recollecting just these three qualities of the Buddha. Worthy, noble. We can see before us the image of the Buddha, the one in the sala here, or another that's in our mind or heart. Observing that Buddha, getting a sense through the way he sits, through this image of the qualities of the Buddha. This Buddha is an Arahat. He's worthy because he is without defilements. In the mind of the Buddha, there is no greed at all. There is no hatred at all. There is no delusion at all. Can we imagine what that mind would be like? Mind free, completely, permanently free from greed, from hatred, from delusion. And we get a sense of that. He's so noble. So worthy of our respect and veneration. Arahato. And the next quality of the Buddha, Samma Sambuddho, Samma Sambuddhassa, rightly self-awakened, fully awakened. The Buddha understands the workings of the world, of the mind, fully. He understands the principles behind how we get caught, how we get stuck and bound up with dukkha, with suffering. He understands that fully. And how we can come to be free. The principles that can lead us to be free. He understands that fully. He has awakened to that fully. Fully awakened Buddha. Samma Sambuddho. and Bhagawato, the Blessed One, the source of blessings. And we consider Buddha's awakening, his purity, his teachings, how that life of the Buddha marked the world, how the impact is rippling down to us still today. Waves of blessings coming from the Buddha. Over thousands of years, still rippling out to us. The blessing of his awakening, and his sharing of that, of the teachings with the world. The source of blessings, if we attune our minds to that, we align ourselves with that, we can catch that wave of blessings still rippling through the world. From the Blessed One, down to us today. Bhagavato. And bringing to mind the image of the Buddha. Seeing how these qualities emanate out from him, how they're visible in him. Arahato, the worthy one, free of all the defilements. Samma Sambuddho, fully awake to the principles of the Dhamma. Bhagavato, blessed, fortunate, and a source of blessings and good fortune for us. We bless ourselves by aligning our minds and hearts with this. And to close this brief meditation, I invite you to chant again with me. As you know. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. Thank you for joining us in that meditation. And then I'd like to invite Venerable Tavira to, we're going to have a brief shared Dhamma talk on the 3 events in the life of the Buddha. And Venerable Tavira will tell us first about the birth.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Ratanataya. Yeah, so we're celebrating these 3 events. And
Can they hear you?
is my microphone working?
Yeah, you need the other one to talk to the speaker. So one is talking to Zoom and one is talking to the room.
Both microphones. How about now? Okay. So we're celebrating these 3 events, and I was thinking about, like what Venerable Kachayana just said, how do we actually kind of attune ourselves and align ourselves to these events, not just as honoring the Buddha, but how do we recognize these things in ourselves, in our own experience? And we're taking the Buddha as our example, whether that's maybe some of us have taken a bodhisattva vow and are aspiring to become Buddhas ourselves, and maybe some of us are aspiring to awaken in this lifetime, and maybe some of us are just looking to really develop more of those skillful qualities that we see in the Buddha in ourselves. And so how can we look at these stories associated with these events of Vesak and see how we can find them in ourselves? And so starting with the birth, and it can feel like the birth is the beginning. There's a certain logic to that. But actually, if we look at the Buddha's story, it was his path started so long before that, where he set this intention to awaken and to become a Buddha. And then he spent lifetimes slowly, gradually developing and perfecting those qualities that he would need to be able to be the Buddha. And I think it's a good thing to remember that even if we have this really skillful aspiration or intention, that it might take us a long time to develop the qualities that we need to be able to accomplish it. And, so then finally in one way and in the beginning in another way, the Buddha was born into our world in his final lifetime. And in the Acharya Abhuta Sutta, it describes the moment the Buddha was born. When the being intent on awakening emerges from his mother's womb, then in this world with its gods, maras, and divinities, this population with its ascetics and Brahmins, gods and humans, an immeasurable magnificent light appears, surpassing the glory of the gods. And this 10,000-fold galaxy shakes and rocks and trembles. And it describes how beings immersed in complete darkness can suddenly see and recognize each other. So there's this coming together of this being who has made this, it's like the highest and most beneficial aspiration. And then he spent lifetimes developing the qualities he would need. And then he's born into this world. And, there's this kind of incredible resonance that resonates through all realms of this being coming into this world who has the capacity to accomplish this goal. And I think there's something about like, I think we ourselves can also recognize that resonance of like, I've made a really skillful aspiration and I've developed the qualities I need. And that moment when you're like, I can accomplish this, and it's not done yet, but the moment that you kind of see, like, I see with clarity how I am capable of accomplishing this. And, I think it's important to really learn to see and recognize that moment of this gradual process and this coming together of conditions and this recognition that this is possible. And then also recognizing that it's not done at that point. And there's actually still, even for the Buddha, he is born into our world and all the realms tremble, and still he actually had a lot of work to do. And so I will pass it over to Venerable Kachina to talk about what's next.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Venerable Tadira. Yes, Buddha did have a lot of work still to do in his final life. So, well, first he had to grow up. He grew up in the palace, surrounded by every luxury, with the family trying specifically to protect him from any kind of suffering, any kind of knowledge of the world not being quite right and perfect and beautiful. So he had a wonderful upbringing. He had a beautiful wife, Yashodhara. He had a loving family. He was a prince. But at some point, he realized that even all the most wonderful things, all these wonderful worldly things, he realized ultimately would not protect from death, not protect from aging and sickness and death. And he knew it was not, there needed to be something else. He knew there was something else somehow. He had some knowing, maybe based on those eons of work leading up to that. But somehow he knew that there was something else, and he went forth to seek it. He left the palace, they say, on the night that his little son Rahula was born. He knew he needed to go then because of the love for his wife and child. He needed to go because otherwise that would keep him attached, keep him there. And he needed to be able to find something better for them as well, because anyone born is in this basic predicament that we will die someday. And so he went to find the deathless for everyone. And it still took him time. He somehow had the conviction that he was going to go with the Kantika, the horse, and with the groom, and they went, and there's the great stories about them leaving the palace, and he's so sure he's going to awaken. But he leaves, and then it takes another 6 years. He has to wander around, he has to talk to different teachers. He undertakes extreme ascetic practices. He sort of tortures his body, starves himself, with the hopes that that would somehow help. He'd had every luxury before that, and he thought, okay, well, I'll give up all my luxuries. I'll give up even the comfort and health of this body, and take that to the furthest extreme. And he found eventually, actually, that didn't help either. That wasn't it either. It didn't remove him from the basic predicament of being caught up in a cycle of birth and death. So, he realized he was actually on the verge of death, and he hadn't awakened. He noticed that, and he said, well, okay, this isn't it either. And he had a memory of when he'd been a child and had a very just completely harmless, good, beautiful meditation experience that came up naturally when he was sitting under the rose apple tree while his father was off working. And he remembered this experience from his childhood and said, there was nothing harmful in that. There was purity in that state of mind that I experienced. And that purity is something that can be developed. This is something that can be part of the way to awakening. It's different from the sensual pleasures. It's different from the self-torture. It's neither of those things. It's the middle way. And so he decided to pursue the middle way. And that's, that's the proximate cause of him sitting down and becoming awakened. But even then, he still had more work to do, right? He had to actually give up all those other things, those other ideas. One of my favorite stories, actually, about the Buddha's awakening. There's so many stories, so many legends. He's offered milk rice by Sujata in the golden bowl, and stories about how he throws the bowl in the water and it goes upstream instead of down, and all these sort of miraculous things happening. One of my favorite lesser known stories is that after he'd eaten, he went to find a place to sit down and meditate. And he went to a nearby mountain. And he sat down and got kind of antsy. He's like, no, this isn't actually the right place. And there's actually, I don't know, maybe 7 spots on that mountain where it said that he tried to sit. And each time something got him, said, no, not quite, not yet. And he knew it was coming, he knew it was almost time, but there was some sort of, Mara getting him, making it so he couldn't sit. But eventually came down from that mountain, he crossed the river, he found a tree. He found the Bodhi tree. And the other story says, that Bodhi tree had been as if awaiting him its whole life, born the same moment that he was. And they found each other. And that was the place and that was the time. And he sat down and decided he would not move until he had attained awakening for himself. And even then, still more work to do. He had to see things. He had that whole night in the first watch of the night. He was observing his past lives, seeing this same cycle for himself over and over and over and over again through how many eons. And in the second watch of the night, he saw this for everybody else. All the beings coming and going, life after life after life. Not just him, but all of us, all of them. And he saw all of them trapped in that way. And it wasn't until the third watch of the night that he finally saw through the defilements. He saw the end of greed, hatred, and delusion, and that's when he was awakened, finally. There's additional stories about being assaulted by the armies of Mara and so forth, and getting Mara's daughters to torment him and tempt him, and launching all sorts of weapons at him that then fall into flowers at his feet. And even after all that, just before the awakening, there was doubt. There was this doubt of who am I? Who am I to be the Samma Sambuddha? Who am I to awaken on my own like this? Why me alone among all beings on the earth? But he was not alone. This is the famous instance where he touches the earth, and the earth witnesses all the eons that he had put in since the time of his aspiration to awaken, how many eons he had lived developing his paramis, developing his qualities so that he would be ready, so he would be able at that time when it was the right time. And the earth goddess comes up and she says, yes, I witnessed that you have done all of that. I was there, I saw it. And the traditional way to witness something, to witness a vow in ancient Indian culture, is to pour water. We still do it. We did it before lunch today. You pour the water, and that's sort of marking, dedicating, witnessing the vow, the water running over your fingers witnesses somehow. And so she's the earth goddess, but her hair is full of water, and she squeezes out the water, and the water goes onto the earth, and that's the witness, and the earth shakes again. And just as Venerable Tavira described, the great light illuminating everything. And that's when the Buddha awakens. He awakens to, well, freedom. He sees it is possible. It's possible just for all of these defilements to end. He cut them off. He ended them. He was free, completely free, permanently free. And that was his awakening. And we're very lucky that he then went on to teach us. He didn't just continue to sit under the tree forever. He was kind of tempted to. He thought it would be a lot of trouble to teach everybody. And he did sit under the tree, just sort of rejoicing in bliss for the next 7 weeks. Well, they actually say 7 different trees, 1 each week. But he sat in meditation for the next 7 weeks. And then he went out and he began to teach. And that legacy of his teaching comes down to us today. And, but, you know, based on his awakening, based on his birth, based on everything that came before, based on all the beings together supporting him through his life, this awakening came to be. And all we can say for that is, more than that, we rejoice. We rejoice and appreciate and venerate the Buddha and his awakening. And, you know, let Venerable Tavira finish the story with the third great event in the life of the Buddha.
Right. So with the Buddha's awakening, he had done what needed to be done for himself. You know, throughout the canon, when someone attains arahantship, they will often say, "Gatang karaniyan," what needed to be done has been done. And I don't know about you, but I have a long to-do list that seems to never be done. And you know, the things of this world aren't ever done. That's the nature of samsara, is it just keeps going around and it's not ever finished. But with awakening, then that is something that can be done. And you know, even though the Buddha had accomplished this for himself, then as Venerable Kachayana said, we are very grateful that out of compassion he did choose to teach. And he put just enormous care and dedication into this for decades of his life. And it was difficult. And you read the canon, and especially the Vinaya, and there's a lot of monks causing a lot of problems and a lot of difficult things. And the Buddha, just out of generosity, not because there was anything in himself that was unfulfilled, but just out of generosity, put the rest of his life into teaching and passing what he had learned onto others and training people so that they could then train others, and everything that needed to be done to establish these teachings as securely in the world as is possible so that they can be passed down through the centuries, which is how we have them now. And so we even see, as the Buddha comes to the very end of his life, just the last few minutes, that he's still thinking this way. He's still thinking of, how do I make sure I have passed this on as well as I can? You know, and he's saying to the monks who are with him at that time, you know, asking them, do they have any more questions? It may be, monks, that for one of the monks here, there is doubt or confusion about the Buddha, or about the teaching, or about the community, or about the path, or about the practice. Ask, monks, do not be regretful later. You know, so he's saying, you know, even just at the very end of his life, he's saying, what can I do? What can I do to make sure that no one has doubt? And even so, even with all of this effort, he's also relinquishing his life without any grief. And, you know, I think for us, this is hard to conceive of. And I think we're used to endings having some kind of push or pull in them. You know, either we're like, I'm done with this, it needs to stop, it needs to go away, or we're like, I want to hold on to this, I don't want it to end. And this idea of on one level, putting just enormous care and effort and dedication into something that truly matters to you, and also being able to let it go without any attachment to it is, it's hard for us to imagine if we're not yet in that place of awakening where that is our experience. And we even see that the monks who were near to the Buddha at the time of his Parinibbāna, all of whom were at least stream enterers, but they were not fully awakened. Not all of them were fully awakened. And, we hear about some of them. When the Gracious One attained final emancipation, those monks there who were not free from passion, throwing up their arms, falling down as though cut down, rolling backwards and forwards as though their feet cut off, crying, "Too quickly, the Gracious One has attained final emancipation. Too quickly, the Fortunate One has attained final emancipation. Too quickly, the visionary in the world has disappeared." And I'm sure if we were there, that's probably exactly what we would be doing, is we would be grieving. But the monks who were there who were fully awakened, they're meeting this ending. And even for this being who was as incredible as the Buddha, they're just meeting it with this absolute balance. Those monks who were free from passion, mindfully, with full awareness, endured, thinking, "Impermanent are all processes. How can it be otherwise?" So I think none of us are there yet in terms of having that frame of mind. But I think it's good to at least keep reminding ourselves that it's possible. With the birth and with the awakening, it's very clear to see how these are these incredibly auspicious events to be celebrated. And it's a little more complicated with the Parinibbāna. But I think really kind of looking at this event and recognizing that there is a way to meet it, and there were people there who are meeting it with just this complete balance. And we can reflect on the very final words of the Buddha. Conditions fall apart. Strive on with diligence. So everything fabricated falls apart, whether that's our lives or everything we will build in the world, or even the life of the Buddha. But it's possible to attain a state where we can just meet that just exactly as it is and not have any suffering around it. And I think it's good to keep reminding ourselves of that, and with that, to strive on with diligence.
Sadhu, 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 anumodama. Thank you very much, Venerable Thabira. So yeah, there's another way I've heard this phrased. I think Longpo Pasano said, probably a quote from Ajahn Chah, I'm not sure, but he said, the Dhamma is all about letting go. And the Vinaya, that's the monastic code and monastic discipline, is all about holding on. And what the Buddha taught is Dhamma Vinaya. And if you can understand how those two things go together, then you've got it, right? So yeah, the monastic code, you hold on to, doing things the right way and taking care of things, as Venerable Thabira was saying, that the Buddha giving his 45 years of his life to holding on and teaching and establishing and building this amazing body of teachings, an amazing institution that still survives today, the monastic, the Sangha, and then letting it all go at the end. And with that, I would like to invite Nuchida. Nuchida is going to speak to us about the holding on part a little bit. The ways to support the monastic institution, the Sangha. So thank you very much, Nuchida. Again, Nuchida is on our board of directors as director of development.
Oh, does she need the other microphone?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you need two microphones. Oh, that's the in-person people. These are the online people. Oh,
So today is Vesak, Vesak in Thai, and grew up in Thailand and coming from Asian perspective or from when this auspicious event happening, we love doing merits and believe that the merits will bring us good deed, good life, good fortune. But I don't know about good fortune, but for sure, for me, when I'm doing good deed or making merits, it fulfills my in something inside me. So I would like everyone, the participants here, to this is a good time if you like to do the merit, making donations, supporting the sangha. And last year, we did have a lot of fundraising. It was last year was a big year for Dhammadharini because it was a 20th anniversary. Also, they have a really big what's it called? They have a lot of bikinis coming to stay. It was a big year, and then there's a pilgrimage, and we did have a lot of push for fundraising, and we did an amazing with the amazing supportive. We got a lot of things done last year. This year, I think it slowed down a little bit, and but the fundraising still continue. And there's one fundraising that it has been going on for many years. Well, it's been ongoing, and it was kind of put in a back burner a little bit last year because we have everything else going on. It's the fire abatement. And you probably heard of this many, many times. And then we keep raising, we wanted to raise the fund for the fire abatement. But this year, we really would love to focus on that. And, summer is around the corner, and we know that the threat of the wildfire in Sonoma area and in the coast, and we wanted to be prepared for that. And then with this fundraising that we do, we can have Aranya Bodhi be ready, and the forest that we love and everyone been there can be ready for any emergency or any kind of that type of event. With the fire abatement that we raised today, the fund that we raised today, we can go and put that into construction to make sure that the safety net is provided for our beloved forest in that area. So I would love to invite everyone to, if you would like to do the dana for the merits of for the Vasa today, um, donate to fire abatement fund, or if you want on again, or to just the general donation, so to support the bhikkhuni. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Thanks very much,
sadhu.
Richard, for sharing about that. You can get the mics back to Venerable Tavira. All right. And then, okay, so with all of those, that meditation and those reflections at heart, this is an opportunity now together. I'm going to chant in praise of the Buddha. And over in the corner of the sala there, you should have a little pamphlet that looks like this, the one with the pink flowers on the front. And also in that same corner, you may find a little bundle of flowers and candles and incense. And I invite everybody to take the bundle of candles and flowers and incense, one each. And we're going to hold these while we chant. And after that, we're going to circumambulate our altar. We're going to offer these to the Buddha, and we're going to bathe the baby Buddha. Before there, the Anagarkas. Take one. All right. So All right. So I'm ready with our Visakha Puja. All right. Everyone has their flowers. Everyone has their chanting booklet. We're going to do this as before, the call and response style. So we'll all recite the Namo Tassa together. And then I will chant one line and then you repeat back to me. So we can do this together. We'll do both the Pali and the English so we can all know what's happening. Andamayang Buddhassa Bhagavato Buddhagamakarang Karomase. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Yam amha ko mayang,
Yam amhang ko mayang,
Bhagawantang saranang gata,
Bhagavantang saranang gata,
Yono Bhagawa sattha,
Yono Bhagava satta,
Yassa chamayang,
Yasa chamayang,
Bhagavato,
Bhagavato,
Dhammang rochema,
Dhammang rochema,
the Blessed One,
the Blessed One,
to whom we have gone for refuge,
to whom we have gone for refuge,
who is our teacher,
who is our teacher,
and in whose Dhamma we delight.
and in whose Dhamma we delight.
Ahosiko so Bhagawa,
Ahosiko so Bhagava,
Majjimesu Janapadesu,
Majjimesu Janapadesu,
Aryakesu Manusesu Uppanno,
Aryakesu Manusesu Uppanno,
Katiyo Jatiya,
Katiyo Jatiya,
Gotamo Gotena,
Gotamo Gotena,
was born in the middle country,
was born in the middle country,
the Aryaka race,
Yaryaka race,
the noble warrior class,
the noble warrior class,
and the Gotama lineage,
and the Gotama lineage,
Sakyaputto,
Sakyaputo,
Sakyakula Pappajito,
Sakyakula Papajito,
Sadevake Loke,
Sadevake Loke,
Samarake Sabrahmake,
Samadake Sabrahmake,
Sasamana Brahmaniya Pajaya,
Sasamana Brahmaniya Pajaya,
Sadeva Manusaya,
Sadeva Manusaya,
Anuttarang,
Anuta,
Samma Sambodhing, Abhisambodho, a member of the Sakyan clan.
a member of the Sakyan clan.
He left his Sakyan family,
He left his Sakyan family,
went forth into the homeless life,
went forth into the homeless life,
and attained right self-awakening,
and attained right self-awakening,
unsurpassed in the cosmos,
unsurpassed in the cosmos,
with its devas, maras, and brahmas,
with its devas, maras, and brahmas,
in this generation,
in this generation,
with its contemplatives and brahmins,
with its contemplatives and Brahmins,
its rulers and common people,
its rulers and common people,
nisang sayang koso bhagawa,
Nisang Sayang Koso Bhagava,
arahang samma sambuddho,
Arahang Samma Sambuddho,
vijjacharana sampanno,
Vijja Charana Sampanno,
sugato lokavidu,
Sugato Lokavidu,
anuttaro bodhisattva sarati,
Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati,
sattha deva manusanang,
Satu Deva Manusana,
buddho bhagava.
Buddho Bhagava.
There is no doubt that the Blessed One
There is no doubt that the Blessed One
is worthy and rightly self-awakened,
is worthy and rightly self-awakened,
consummate in knowledge and conduct,
consummate in knowledge and conduct,
one who has gone the good way,
one who has gone the good way,
a knower of the cosmos,
a knower of the cosmos,
unexcelled as a trainer
and excelled as a trainer
for those who can be taught,
for those who can be taught,
teacher for human and divine beings,
teacher for human and divine beings,
awakened and blessed,
awakened and blessed,
swakato ko,
Swakatoko,
anatena bhagavata dhammo,
Anatena Bhagavata Dhammo,
sanditthiko akaliko,
Sanditiko Akaliko,
ehipassiko,
Ehipasiko,
opanayiko,
Openayiko,
achatang veditabo vinyuhi,
Pachatang Veditabo Vinyuhi,
and that the Dhamma is well taught by the Blessed One,
and that the Dhamma is well taught by the Blessed One,
to be seen here and now,
to be seen here and now,
timeless,
timeless,
inviting all to come and see,
inviting all to come and see,
pertinent,
pertinent,
to be realized by the observant for themselves,
to be realized by the observant for themselves.
supatipanno ko,
Supatipannoko,
panassa bhagavato sāvaka sangho,
Anasa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho,
ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho,
Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho,
nayapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho,
Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho,
samicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho,
Namicipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho,
yadidang cattari
Vidam Chatari,
bodhisayughani
Sayutani,
atta bodhisapogala,
Atta Purisa Pugala,
and that the community of the Blessed One's disciples,
and that the community of the Blessed One's disciples,
the four pairs,
the four pairs,
the 8 types of noble ones,
the 8 types of noble ones,
have practiced well,
have practiced well,
have practiced straightforwardly,
have practiced straightforwardly,
have practiced methodically,
have practiced methodically,
have practiced masterfully.
have practiced masterfully.
Ayango panapatima,
Ayanko panapatima,
tang bhagawantang,
tang bhagavantang,
udisakata patitapita,
udisakata patipatita,
yawadeva dasanena,
yavadeva dasanena,
tang bhagawantang anusaritva,
tang bhagavantang anusaritva,
pasada sangvega,
pasada sangvega,
patilabhaya.
patilabhaya.
This image dedicated to the Blessed One
This image dedicated to the Blessed One
has been fashioned and placed here
has been fashioned and placed here,
so that in seeing it,
so that in seeing it,
we will remember him
we will remember him
and gain a sense of inspiration
and gain a sense of inspiration
and chastened dispassion.
and chastened dispassion.
Mayanko etarahi
Mayanko etarahi,
imang wisaka punnami kalang
imang visaka punami kalang,
tassa bhagavato
tassa bhagavato,
jati sambodhi nibbana
yati Dhammadharini
kala sammatang patwa
Kala sammatang patva,
imang thanang sampatta.
imang tanang sampata.
Now on this full moon day of Visakha,
Now on this full moon day of Vesak,
recognized as the date
recognized as the date
of the Blessed One's birth, awakening and total unbinding,
of the Blessed One's birth, awakening and total unbinding,
we have gathered together in this place.
we have gathered together in this place.
Ime danda dipa dhupari sakare.
Ime danda dipa dupadi sakare,
Gahitwa
gahitva
atano kayang
atano kayang
sakarupadhanang
sakarupadanang
karitwa.
karitva.
We take these offerings,
We take these offerings,
candles, incense, and so forth,
candles, incense, and so forth,
and make our bodies a vessel for them.
and make our bodies a vessel for them.
Tassa bhagavato
Asa bhagavato
yatha bhucche gune
yata puche gune
anusaranta
anusaranta
imang patimagharang
imang patimakarang
tikhatung
dipatum
padakinang karisama
padakinang karisama
yatha gahitehi
yata kahitehi
sakarehi
sakarehi
bhojang gurumana.
ujang kurumana.
Reflecting on the Blessed One's virtues
Reflecting on the Blessed One's virtues
as they actually are,
as they actually are.
we will circumambulate this image shelter
We will circumambulate this image shelter
3 times,
3 times,
paying homage to him
paying homage to him
with the offerings we hold.
with the offerings we hold.
Sadhu no bhante bhagawa,
Sadhu no bhante bhagava,
suchira parinibbutopi,
suchira parini bhutopi,
nate behi gunehi,
natapehi gunehi,
atitaram manataya,
atitaram manataya,
Anayamano.
Anayamano.
Even though the Blessed One
Even though the Blessed One
was long ago totally unbound,
was long ago totally unbound,
he is still discernible
he is still discernible
through our remembrance
through our remembrance
of his perceivable virtues.
of his perceivable virtues.
Ime amhe higahite
Ime amhe higahite
sakare patikanhatu
sakare patikan hatu
amhakang
amhakam
dikaratang
ikaratang
itaya
itaya
sukhaya.
sukhaya.
May he accept the offerings we hold
May he accept the offerings we hold
for the sake of our long-term welfare and happiness.
for the sake of our long-term welfare and happiness.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Modana. All right. So now we're going to do just what we said. We're going to circumambulate 3 times this image shelter. It means we have the altar there of the Buddha. These are 3 great events. We have images of his birth, of his awakening, and of his passing away. We're going to walk together 3 times around both that image shelter and the Bodhi tree. And we're going to have an opportunity, each of us, to put these offerings on the altar and to take a spoonful of the water and pour that over the baby Buddha. So we'll have the opportunity to participate together in bathing the baby Buddha. After each one has had a chance to do that, then we'll come back here for our final closing. And while we're circumambulating, we can chant the recollection of the Buddha, which is here if you need it. Many of you know it. Itipiso Bhagawa Araham. But if you need the words, they're here. And we'll go do that. So the monastics will process out, and then you can all line up behind us, and we'll do our circumambulation. Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Sata Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Sata Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Sata Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusana buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro bodhisattva sarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro Buddhisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro Buddhisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro Buddhisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vichacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro Buddhisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati. And we'll chant a final blessing here. Jaya Parita. Mahakaruniko nato itaya sabapaninang pore tua parami sabapato sambodhimutamang edena sachawa jena hotu te jayamangalang Jayanto Bodhiya Mule Sakyanang Nandivatano Ewang Twang Vijayo Ho Hijaya Sujaya Mangale Aparajita Palangte Sise Patavipokare Abhiseke Sababudhanang Agapato pamodati sunakatang sumangalang supapatang suhutitang sukano sumuhuto jasuyitang brahmachari supadakinang kaya kamang wacha kamang padakinang mano kamang Panidite padakina padakina nikaswana labantate padakine. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Oh. Anumodana. May this all be for our victory. Our joyous victory. That's that blessing that this remembrance of the Buddha will allow us to follow his pathway and to experience that awakening for ourselves. Victorious, joyous. So happy Vesak to everyone. There is one last thing, which is I think there's a couple people brought things for Sangha Dana, if they would like to offer any items.
There's two last things.
No, two last.
The picture.
And then the photo, yes. We need a group photo. I see some things on the Sangha Dana table. I'm not sure who offered them, but if anyone would like to bring those over, we can have those offered now. How hard is it to bring over? How big is it? All right. So you're going to gather your things, and then we'll have a formal offering with chanting. So hang on. We have to chant first.
Are we doing Sangha Dana chanting?
Yes.
Okay.
aren't we? Um, all right, hang on. You're going to hold that while
Wondering when
we
he's getting the
dedicate
plant.
to the Sangha. Yeah, we've not necessarily been in the habit of doing the formal offerings, but it's a good tradition. So, all right, here comes the plant. Okay, so then those who are offering. Anyone can participate. All right. Okay, so those who are offering and those who are observing and rejoicing in their offering can recite together Namo Tassa. Go for it.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
And now repeat after me. Imani Mayang Aye Sanghadhanani Silawantanang Ono Jayama Satuno Aye Silawanta Imani Sanghadhanani Patiganhatu Amhakang Dikaratang Hitaya Sukhaya. That means we present these Sangha gifts of ours to the virtuous ones. May the virtuous ones accept these, our Sangha gifts, for our long-term welfare and happiness. And then, if you like to come forward, you can offer those things. All right.
Let's just go next to our fountain.
Yes.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Beautiful sad. And
All
he's
right.
helping with our landscaping.
Right. And then our Anumodana. Sabitiho vivajantu Sabarogo vinasatu mate bhavatwantarayo Sukhi dikayuko bhava apivadanasili sanichang Uddhapachayino Jataro Dhamma vadanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang. All right. Sadhu. Everyone join me in a round of sadhus. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thank you, everyone. That closes the formal part of our program. Those who are here in person, please don't run away yet because we want a photo. But for those online, thank you very much for joining us and wish you well to see some of you.